Welcome to Keto Meals and Recipes.com. Today I will show you that you can make an easy and flavorful meal that only takes a few minutes of your prep time and is perfect for either outdoor barbecuing or grilling in the oven. As well, you can make extra for prep ahead meals. I will complete this video by showing you what side dishes I add to make this into a full meal. And the recipe that I'm going to be showing you how to prepare is my Mediterranean chicken kebab with cucumber garlic yogurt sauce, in other words, tzatziki. And if you're interested, I have other Mediterranean recipes that are great for indoor or outdoor grilling. So please support my channel by watching the entire video all the way to the end and getting the extra recommendations as pinned end cards. The macronutrient ratio for the Mediterranean chicken kebab, not including the tzatziki, is 0.9 to 1. With 4.8 grams of total carbs, 1.5 grams of dietary fiber, resulting in 3.3 grams of net carbs per entire skewer of meat and all the vegetables. These kebabs are high in protein, and the vegetables are a good combination of vitamins and minerals for a healthy, nutrient-dense meal. But to improve the macro ratios, I usually serve these kebabs with my homemade tzatziki, which, by the way, is based on an authentic Greek recipe with a few modifications to make it just a bit better keto ratio. The links for the written recipe and the tzatziki are in the description box, so please go down there to get the details. Now, here's how I make my Mediterranean chicken kebabs. I begin by first preparing my kebab ingredients. I want to mention, because I like moist chicken cubes, I prefer to cut the chicken breast into larger cubes that are between 1.5 to 2 inches or 3.8 to 5 centimeter size. Not the usual 1 inch cubes or 2.5 centimeter size. I feel the smaller size dries out too quickly when you're barbecuing or grilling. And as I have emphasized in many of my other chicken recipes, I always like to rinse the chicken before cooking. In this case, I place the cubes into a large bowl. I make a light vinegar water bath, swish it around. I let the cubes soak in the vinegar water for about 5 minutes and then rinse under running water. And before proceeding, it's really important that you pat dry your chicken cubes. And the reason for that is so that the marinade will stick to the meat. Then season the cubes with a sprinkle of salt and pepper and toss well. Now it's time to get the mixing bowl and add the oil and Italian seasoning and stir well. That's all there is to the marinade, not complicated. Add the chicken cubes to the bowl and toss well to coat to ensure that every cube is completely coated. And then let the chicken stand for a minimum of 10, preferably 30 minutes. Or, if you're prepping this ahead for the next day, cover the bowl with cling wrap and refrigerate overnight. Just remember to take the chicken cubes out of the fridge to get to room temperature about 20 minutes before you're ready to grill. And while my chicken is marinating, I prepare the vegetables. From left to right are the red bell peppers or capsicums, which are also cut into 1.5 inch or 3.8 centimeter cubes. My mushrooms, which I cut in half. The red onion, which I try to cut the top layer into 1.5 inch or 3.8 centimeter wedges. And then I cut my zucchini into 1/2 inch or 1.25 centimeter thick medallions. One more thing I'd like to strongly suggest. I prefer to use metal skewers because the meat and the vegetables slide on more easily and they're reusable. However, alternatively, if you don't have these, you can use a bamboo skewer. But remember to soak it and make sure it's completely waterlogged before proceeding. Okay, let's get started. I begin by sliding the first cube of marinated meat onto the skewer and push it to the other end, followed by a wedge of red onion, 1/2 of the mushroom, a square of red bell pepper or capsicum, and a medallion of zucchini. And the reason I chose this pattern is because I think it looks rather nice and presents well. And then you just repeat. I again begin with a cube of chicken, followed by the onion, followed by 1/2 of a mushroom, the bell pepper capsicum, and the zucchini. And I finish the kebab with the third cube of chicken, wedge of onion, In this last row, I omit the mushroom and I complete the assembly with a zucchini medallion. You may have noticed that I did not put any salt on the vegetable. That's because I don't want the vegetables to get dehydrated while they're being grilled. I want them to be on the crispy side, or al dente. I'm sure that most of you already know that there's many ways you can actually cook a kebab. There are several ways to grill the kebabs. One, you can do them on an outdoor barbecue. Alternatively, the kebabs can be roasted in the oven, and some people do like to make them on the stovetop. I will not show you that because I don't really like it that way. I find the kebabs get too dry. So, for the oven method, begin by preheating your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Position your prepared skewers on the inside of a roasting pot lid or directly onto a baking sheet. Next, using a pastry brush and the remainder of your oily marinade, coat the chicken and the vegetables. Then place the baking sheet into the middle position of your preheated oven and cook for 20 to 30 minutes. To make sure that both sides are done well, at about the 15-minute mark, I flip the skewers over just once. I would also like to share this important guide about using internal temperatures as a safety guide so you know when your meat is done. For example, the United States Department of Agriculture recommends that chicken should be cooked to an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius. This applies to any part of the chicken that you're cooking, grilling, or roasting. Since there are so many different types of barbecues, I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but do read your manufacturer's guidelines if you're new to barbecuing. And as I mentioned, to complete my meal, I like to serve the kebab with my Greek-style tzatziki. Serving it with the tzatziki increases the healthy fats and improves the overall macro ratios for this entire meal. And because I want this to be a quick and easy meal, I'm going to serve this with a variety of raw vegetables that I'm also going to dip into my tzatziki. Although you can make kebabs in your oven or barbecue any time of the year, I find this recipe especially useful in the summertime when you don't feel like cooking or spending a lot of time in the kitchen. I hope you will enjoy this very tasty Mediterranean chicken kebab and the tzatziki sauce and the suggestion of serving it with raw vegetables. You don't have to cook them all the time. I'd like to thank you for watching my video, and I hope that you come back when I post my next one. Until next time, I hope you have a very happy and healthy day. Cheers!